Okay, my idea is to create a 5 to 10 minute short movie about county lines and cuckooing. I wanted to create a documentary-inspired movie, which I was able to make an awareness on. I wanted to create a film that was based on men, and as I felt like it was perfect. Wait. So what is county lines? County lines is an illegal act where gang members would take advantage of young people and vulnerable people. Sorry. So county lines is where gang members would take advantage of young peoples and vulnerable people, mainly with
Jade,
mental health.
I'm just going to say, take a breath.
Okay.
Slow down.
All
yeah.
right.
Okay. It's all right.
Don't I read in front
It's
of
okay.
people?
Just take your time. Okay.
Okay. Where they take advantage of young people and people with drug addictions or mental health problems. They will use these people to sell drugs for them away from big cities. Cuckooing is where they will use the property of the young persons to operate in. Gangs would not stay long before they move somewhere else. I want to create this short movie as it's something I felt strongly about after doing some research. While I was living in a small rural place myself, I realised that county lines is something that can be going on all the time without realising. So I asked myself how many people do realise, and would young people be able to spot the red flags before getting themselves into something so serious? With primary research and secondary research, I thought it would be interested to ask young people, like a little survey, seeing if they actually know what it is. And if they do, maybe to elaborate like what they would notice on the red flags, because obviously I want to make an awareness, and I actually am quite interested to see how many young people would know, because that's the whole like why I want to make the short movie. I also want to interview like safeguarding and stuff, see if they've dealt with it with college and stuff, and maybe even police officers and that. The audience I would be aiming for would be young people and parents of young people. I want young people to understand the dangers and fears behind the subject, how to avoid it from happening, and maybe even notice the same behaviour in a friend. I plan to film the whole thing in my local town, as I live in a rural area, an area that would be targeted for county lines and cuckooing. I plan to film in houses and on the streets, as in friends' houses and streets and people who are obviously acting. I will need a victim and a main gang member and a few extras. I will want the cast to have fake tattoos, weapons, fake drugs, and rough or branded clothing. I intend to do all the filming and editing and audio myself, and maybe just get people to help me out as well. I want my film to be a lot of first-person filming, so we can really understand how the victim is feeling, low-key lighting, and using a blue tint to show emotion and tension. Point of view of the victim. I also want to include behaviour that we should be aware of when trying to battle county lines, making other aware on what it is, how to avoid it, and how to know if someone you love is involved.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Questions?
Have you got a narrative
What do you
plan?
mean?
Have you got like a plot already? Think about what's going to happen in the film?
Oh yeah. So basically, I just kind of want it like they open the scene, like someone maybe like who's involved in it, and how we got involved, and maybe like a friend kind of seeing these signs and then like says like reports it, so we can kind of like try to show people like what to be aware of from the signs and stuff, to kind of raise that awareness, and then like keeping an eye on the signs, or like what happens when you get too involved in it, and like danger and gangs, or maybe even lead to death and fights and stuff.
So that's quite broad. You might need to think
Yeah, I'll think more. Yeah.
about how you're going to structure it.
Yes, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, so you need to do a really, really good narrative breakdown of what's happening, scene by scene, and what the purpose of those scenes are.
Yeah.
So above everything else, what you really need to do is develop a narrative arc. So what are we watching happen? Are we following someone who's seeing their friend being abused, and we follow their narrative arc, and we learn their story, and we see how it affects them, but through the periphery, we see how it affects the person who is being cuckooed or who is being used as county lines? Or are we following the person who meets someone impressive and thinks, oh, this person's cool, oh, they've told me to sell X, and then they get into it, and then they start to threaten them. And then where does that end?
I wanted it more on the victim side of the story. So I want to kind of be following him and how he's feeling and what he's going through, and then how he reaches out for help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the ending then you want them to reach out for help
Yeah.
and receive the help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's really about working out what are those key scenes. How is this going to go down? And,
Yeah.
You know,
And how do people get help in that situation? Because it's a very
Mm.
difficult thing to just step out of. So,
Yeah,
like, are
yeah.
you going to have, you know, then your cast potentially is going to have to involve someone being a police officer or, you know.
mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe just talking to another friend about it, and then their friend can.
Before they get too involved. So it's interesting to think about what actually happens in cuckooing and
Yeah.
county lines. It's not that easy to step out of and just go, oh yeah, I've talked to my mate, so I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Quite a serious thing. So like really having to do your research into what actually is involved and what happens.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. 100%. I've been doing loads of research anyway.
Yeah, so
Loads.
it's clear you've done some good secondary research and your ideas for primary research are really
Yeah.
good, but you now need to make sure all that is really feeding into
What I want to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
how that story's going to come
Yeah.
together. Because like I was saying, getting out of it, it's often if you try and leave, they will kill you.
Yeah.
Or they will threaten to at the very most,
Yeah.
which is
Or you end up in
intimidating
prison
enough.
before you even
Yeah.
Mhm.
get to
Yeah.
get out. Yeah.
So there's lots of example films made by the government you can watch about this. You can also watch kind of, I think I recommended This Is England to you before, didn't I? There's a couple other social realist films as well you can kind of check out. I'll try and remember more of them as we go. But about people falling into this kind of victimhood of being involved in a
Yeah.
gang. So that will help you kind of structure your idea, but you really need to make it short.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
will.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Just a
it's
short
not-
film. Yeah.
And with that, you might want to skip sections, so it doesn't have to be we're seeing every single thing happen. We see
No.
them at the beginning of
Yeah.
this experience, we see them, and then suddenly it's a couple of weeks, months later, and again. So we're jumping around to key points in their
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Cool. But yeah, I thought your message was really clear. I thought your
Mm.
purpose for doing it was really clear. And I thought you've obviously found something and connected with it really well.
Yeah.
And you've got a good understanding of kind of the basic resources, like you're understanding, okay, what have I got in my, what resources have I got available at the moment, such as your location, such as your cast, and then you're using that wisely. So like I've said, kind of the maximum pushes of that is you might need someone in a police uniform,
Yeah.
or maybe you can inventively work a way around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did notice that you said documentary in the middle
Mm.
because it's.
It was kind of like documentary inspired almost. So I kind of didn't want to I didn't know how to word it, but I kind of wanted it to be about obviously something that does actually go on. Like it's not something I made up. It is.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
So it's like a
social-
reenactment to
Yeah.
an event that's possibly going around all over. Really.
So that's social. We call that social realism as a genre.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
realism, so it's meant to be realistic, but about social issues.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
so we call it social
Okay.
realism.
Social
So
realism. I'll
that's your
remember
way
that
of
one.
calling it. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really you got to get that plot sorted.
Yes.
So I tell
But
you
I'll
what.
get that
Yeah.
all done by
I'm
full
gonna give
filming.
I'm gonna give you by next Monday to have a nice plot to tell me.
Yes. I will.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cool.
Great.
Do I just pull this out?
Yep.
Yep. Thank you.
Should I give it to you?
If you give it to